I have a joke.
Okay.
Knock knock. Obama.
Obama who?
Obama so.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
No one laughed. Jesus Christ.
No one laughed.
What's good with y'all, man? This is part 2 of my 30 for 30 no ESPN series. Part 1 was about the 76ers. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description. And if you enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Boom! 10-second intro. I'm trying to keep it short so I keep you guys' attention. So in my last video, I called the 76ers last season an utter disappointment. And I can say the exact same thing about the Milwaukee Bucks. Number 1 seed, most wins in the NBA. You know, they're supposedly supposed to get better. You know, Brook Lopez played better this season defensively. I mean, I don't think he shot the ball that well. Giannis had the best season of his career, winning MVP. Chris Middleton, All-Star. They were supposed to at least make the NBA Finals for sure. And they didn't for a number of reasons that I'm going to get into. But before I talk about that, real quick, I do want to talk about the Bucks offseason last year. Now, last year, the Bucks had a pretty hefty decision to make. I don't know why I use the word hefty, but it's because it's like money related. They had to choose between pretty much Eric Bledsoe and Malcolm Brogdon, and what they did, even though Bledsoe is aging, he didn't play good in last year's playoffs. I mean, they still chose him over Brogdon, which doesn't make any sense. Brogdon's younger. You know, it's only $4 million more. Brogdon's getting paid $20 million. Eric Bledsoe's getting paid $16 million. I'm not going to say that they would have won or at least made the NBA Finals if they had chosen Brogdon over Bledsoe, but I think Bledsoe played the worst out of all of the Bucks this year, and that was a pretty big problem. So let's get right into their moves. They didn't draft anyone, but they did trade. I forget if this was during the trade. No, this wasn't during the draft. I think it was before the draft. They traded George Hill, Eric Bledsoe, and was it 5 firsts for Drew Holiday? And I think that's the biggest W they took this offseason. Now, Drew Holiday, I could talk about Drew Holiday for days. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I love Drew Holiday. In my opinion, and in a lot of other people's opinion, including NBA players, he's the best perimeter defender in the NBA right now. I don't really think it's close. Actually, no, it can be close, but I think Drew Holiday takes it. And if you guys remember, the last time he made the playoffs, which is what I'm excited to see Drew Holiday in the playoffs. Last time he was in the playoffs, he was the 6th seed, I'm pretty sure, going against the 3 seed Trailblazers. To keep it short, he crushed them. And I'm not going to say it was him alone. Anthony Davis did have a huge part in that. Rondo did a decent part in that offensively. But defensively, Drew Holiday had Damian Lillard confused. He had Damian Lillard. He couldn't do anything. I think he averaged about 18 points on like 35%. There was nothing that Lillard could do. I mean, Drew Holiday, when he is actually in his bag, will clamp up any player in the NBA. Now, there are a couple things to this, including that the Bucks didn't really need defense. I think it was more of their offense that they needed to improve on in this offseason. But Drew Holiday is still really good offensively. He's definitely better than Eric Bledsoe offensively. It's not even really close. Defensively, he's better. Playmaking-wise, he's better. This is just an overall upgrade. And yes, they did lose depth with George Hill. George Hill wasn't bad. He wasn't terrible in the playoffs, but I mean, you have to do what you have to do. Like this guy, I think Drew Holiday. Because remember, so they swept the Trailblazers, the Pelicans. And the team that they lost to was that OP team of Golden State with KD, Curry, Clay. You couldn't beat that team, no matter how good Drew Holiday played. So you gave up Bledsoe, you gave up Hill, you gave up 5 first-rounders. Now, some people are saying that's crazy, it's OD. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. It's kind of unfortunate the way that the Lakers kind of got Montrezl Harrell for nothing, making them so much better, and Dennis Schroeder for nothing. It's kind of like they were gifted this next year's championship. I mean, they can still choke. Honestly, in my personal opinion, I'm going to talk about this more in my Lakers video. Montrezl Harrell is kind of overrated to me, but we're not talking about that in this video. But yeah, so this Drew Holiday trade, massive W. I mean, I wish they got like another player, like a JJ Redick, but I mean, what you can't ask for too much. Next thing that the Bucks did was they tried and attempted to trade for Bogdanovich in a sign-in trade, which ended up not actually working, but I think something needs to change with that, because I'm pretty sure what happened was Bogdan thought he was re-signing to the Kings, so he didn't want to do it, when in reality he didn't know that he was getting signed and traded to the Bucks. I feel like he would have done that if he was able to go to the Bucks. So I don't know how that worked out. You know, I'm not gonna spend hours studying it, but that kind of sucks for the Bucks. So that's kind of an L for them. And who they were going to trade for Bogdan was Dante DiVincenzo, who I think he played pretty decent in the playoffs. I mean, obviously you'd rather have Bogdan, but I think he can still be in a good, like, I think if he's your worst starter, that's not too bad, in my opinion. Now, let's go to free agency, where the Bucks lost Ersan Ilyasova, they lost Wesley Matthews, and they lost Robin Lopez, and they got DJ Augustine, Bobby Portis, Bryn Forbes, and Tory Craig. So first of all, I mean, they upgraded Bobby Portis instead of Robin Lopez. I mean, I'd rather have Bobby Portis. He's a really good rebounder. You know, he can score all right. He's not an efficient scorer for a big, but he can still put the ball in the basket. In my opinion, he's better than Robin Lopez. Robin Lopez, I just saw as like one of those guys at the end of the roster you just had to play. Maybe I'm underrating Robin Lopez. I just don't think he's that good. Next thing they did, they signed DJ Augustine. DJ Augustine, he's always led, in the past 2 years, I'm pretty sure he's played for the Orlando Magic, and he always led them to win game 1. Whether they played the Bucks this year, the Raptors the year before. He was always leading that team, and he's a pretty good scorer, good playmaker. I think he's really good off the bench. In replacement to George Hill, he might not be as good. I think he's just as good as George Hill. So in my opinion, that's a W. And then you're replacing Wesley Matthews with Bryn Forbes. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too much about Bryn Forbes. I know that he played for the Spurs. The Spurs have such a, like, I think it's a W that the Spurs got rid of Bryn Forbes, honestly, because they had like 5, 6, 7 rotating guards in that weird lineup with like DeJounte Murray, Lonnie Walker, Bryn Forbes, and a bunch of others. I can't name them off the top of my head, but I mean, we're gonna have to see. I'm not going. I didn't watch too many Spurs games this year, so I'm not really sure. But they might have downgraded a little bit. But maybe Bryn Forbes getting out of San Antonio, maybe that helps him a lot. And finally, they replaced Ersan Ilyasova with Tory Craig. I'm kind of mixed on this, honestly, because the Bucks don't need defense. They had defense last year. They don't really need any more defense. I mean, defense does win championships, but so does offense. You also need offense. Tory Craig wasn't bad offensively. He was really good defensively, not that good offensively. And Ersan Ilyasova did a good job stretching the floor. I don't know. I'm pretty. I mean, we'll have to see. I don't really have any predictions for this, if that's a good deal or bad deal. But I'm pretty sure they got Tory Craig for really cheap, so that in itself is a W. Now, overall, what do I think of this offseason? I'm going to give it a semi-W. I mean, it's already a W in itself getting Drew Holiday, but I feel like getting Bogdan really would have capped it off. I really feel like Bogdan would have actually made them a championship favorite, because they need another go-to scorer. Giannis, you know, he only has like a couple simple moves, like a Euro step, hop step. And Drew Holiday's a good scorer. Chris Middleton's a good scorer, but they need like a go-to. Like Chris Middleton sometimes when he's in the situation where he needs to be the go-to scorer isn't, and that's a problem. So Bogdan would have been really good. I'm gonna give them mostly a W, but it could have gotten better. I'm not gonna lie. Now my predictions for this Bucks team, as I'm gonna do for every single team in this series, I think it's championship or bust. They have to be. If they're lower than the first seed, then they already lost. If they don't make the NBA Finals, then they lost this season. Like, they have to make at least the NBA Finals. You know what? It's not important. You know, you don't need to be the first seed. Just at least make the NBA Finals. This is the year. Because Kevin Durant, I feel like he's going to not be as good as he was past because of his injury. And I feel like he's going to recover really well off this season, and he's going to be better next season. So this is the season that you have to contend. Unless Harden goes to the Nets. And in that case, it's over. But my predictions, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Middleton and Drew Holiday won't be all-stars, and I think Giannis will be MVP worthy, but he's gonna get snubbed because of voters fatigue. I mean, he's always really good in the offseason. I mean, not offseason, in the regular season. And in the playoffs, I expect them to make the NBA Finals. So that's the video. I'm just gonna do a quick outro, so if you guys don't really care, then you can go ahead and leave. But I mean, if you guys really enjoyed and made it to the end, I really wish you guys would like and subscribe. It would actually mean a lot to me. I'm gonna try and get a actual camera, because I've made videos in the past with a camera, but this webcam I have isn't 1280 720, so it won't fit the entire screen. It'll fit like part of the screen, which is really annoying. But I got this for like really cheap anyway. But let me know if you guys want that. I'm gonna be doing the bowls tomorrow, or a random video, but I'm gonna try and do the bowls for this series. And yeah, peace.